3, 2, 1. One, two, one, two.
De-escalate officer control encounter.
So sorry. It's so loud in here, and I think that people really need to hear this. So can we please be quiet just a little bit and have some respect? Pretty please. Thank you.
That's my bodyguard, Edward Jones. I use Edward Jones.
Boys, what are we doing? Look at that! He's so cute! Gracias! Dude, this is amazing! It's pretty cool, huh? Igual!
I'm a whirling dervish, always twirl on purpose. I'm so surface level, don't you look behind the curtains. I'm nervous like I'm Nelly. Kelly's so evil, he not a person. What would a good one consist of? I'm probably not as perfect. It's probably not in my bloodline. My faith lies as far as my fathers allow, but truth I control where I land. I choose to be an island. I choose to pick up my plans till they all seem folly, but I guess I'll change that present to the past tense. Like Paps was a bastard, flabbergasted. Pap has a running pattern, polish splattered, nothing matters. Turns out love an ugly dancer. I am. Generation violence, part of the nation, not hiding from it all till it all become blinding. Fly across the sky till the blue turn violent, mock the passage of the days. Days all ever I'm in. Don't feel free to chime in, rather keep you tuned out. Stick with flat drink sip instead of fizzled out routes. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. Life is made of serious work. This might be a bowl of self-belief. No need for boating schools to tell me peace is found. I find my own ground, crashing my own reef. No beef, all peace. Nah, that bang bang, ski ski. You show the counts down. Clown caught up in his own heat. It's a lesson where you learn to shut the demons out. Nah, I'm kidding. You ain't no demon. You my homie, but I'm tweaking, bro. When you mix this and think you got business talking about my track, shut up, bitch. Sorry. I guess I went too far with that one. Guess it's easy to blame the homie for my shortcomings. Should have working for different outcomes. It's all love, but it need to be self-love. Need to do this for me, not for anyone else,
No,
but
when he starts
not for
singing,
your approval
yeah.
or the words of the rest of, but to feel peace when I walk in the respite.
Guys, go forward.
It should be mine. Now I know it's mine alone. I don't need to go your way. You stand and make that face. of serious work.
Yeah.
I don't need to go your way. You send and make that face. Life is made of serious work.
Other hand. That one. That hand. Hey, come here.
What about?
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Nonito
Oh, look, that one worked.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Testing, testing, testing. Everything sound good? Everything sound good?
It sounds funny.
It sounds funny.
Why do you sound funny?
Hello? I
Hold
do sound funny.
What?
Do I sound funny, guys?
Let me turn this off.
Test, test, test.
That sounds better?
I think I sound better.
Okay, you sound way, way better.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good morning,
Hi.
everybody. Another technical difficulties.
This is the thing is like when we wake up in the morning, like everything's reset, right? Like if we go live later at night, we've been using the camera and all that stuff to create content. So this is why are you you're always hogging
Yeah,
the
I know. I'm always hogging
screen.
everything.
Jesus. Okay, so I'm not Jiminy Cricket today. Where's Jiminy Cricket? I like Jiminy Cricket.
I know. He's somewhere
That was
over
actually
there.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Being off cam. It was like you were talking to a producer or something. But today, guys, yesterday we were kind of talking about some situation that we had that YB put us into. I'm just kidding,
Yeah, I'm
YB. I
blaming
don't
on
know if you're here,
YB.
but that we got into. But before we talk about that, we're gonna talk about like other different topics, and this all surrounds into boxing because literally I feel like a lot of our um the things that we have actually felt was in boxing, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about ignorance, racism, and Asian hate. So I feel like he was like, well, no, racism and Asian hate are kind of the same thing, and we were talking about it yesterday, and I felt like it's different. Now here's the difference for me. Hey, Carl Hunter Hansen from
Hey, Ka.
y'all don't like spiders, don't
Yeah,
talk to Carl.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you guys who are here, just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and notification button so you guys know what time we're going on. We are trying to basically do the 15-minute counter at 8:45 and get on at 9 so
Yeah,
we don't start at 9:15.
that's right.
But
So the
I
difference,
I feel like the difference between racism and Asian hate, like I do feel like it is racism. Racism is
well, the core of it, right? The core of it,
the
right?
core of
Is
it.
hate.
Yeah.
Is hate.
Yeah, but I feel like Asian hate like literally came about because of COVID. Like it
Right.
wasn't like if you didn't like Asian people before that, like that was like the thing, right? You're racist, whatever. But Asian hate, like it was like they were blamed, like Asians were blamed, and all Asians, not just
Not just
Chinese.
Chinese, but every
If
Asian
you
who
looked
have
Asian,
the
if you look
yes,
Chinese,
right,
if
right.
they couldn't tell most, and I'm
So,
sorry,
so what
there's
about those guys like those Russian guys, that look like they're Asian, but they're really not Asian. They're
you're
like
talking about
Russian.
Beeble?
Yeah, I'm just saying,
You think because Beeble is Russian and Russia's good with
No,
China?
he's
Are
like
you making a
Korean or
conspiracy?
something, right? Korean
He's
and
Korean.
is
Yeah.
Korean. Oh, so he is part Asian. But I'm saying like because of the area of what is it called? The Mongolians, when they took over Mongolia, when they took over back in the days,
Uh-huh.
they that area
Mm.
was populated and half and all that stuff, was getting into. But anyways, yeah, see old dirty
I
boxing was
told
saying
you he was
he's part
Korean.
Korean. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I can't remember who's. I'm not even gonna say who it was, but someone said, I swear I was on someone's YouTube and they're like, they were talking about Chinese boxers, I believe, and somehow they brought up two names, and I
What's
thought
that?
I was dying laughing. One was Beeble,
Uh-huh.
and the other one was Brandon Lee. And I'm like, they're both Korean. I'm like furiously chatting, like, they're Korean. They're like, they're not Korean. I'm like, they're Korean. Both of them are Korean. They're not Chinese. But we get this a lot, right? Like we get this kind of
Carl said because Carl's from Australia, right?
mm-hmm. Ooh, good question.
Yeah, great
Carl
question.
said, is it just a US thing with racism and boxing? Because here in Australia, we couldn't care less what your skin color is. If you're a good fighter, I support you.
But Carl, going back into that, there are videos out there about Asian hate, right? Because of the COVID stuff, and that's what we're talking about. Because there are videos
Mm.
about these youngins. They are messing with Asian people, but because due to the COVID thing,
Yeah, I feel like
and that was in Australia.
yeah, was it?
Yeah, some videos from Australia. It could be
Ooh,
it could be New Zealand.
Carl.
It could be New
Was
Zealand.
it you putting spiders on Asian people
Yeah.
in Australia? I'm just kidding. The I guess like the whole thing is that like Asian hate didn't really become like that that bad, like as far as violence and as far as like hands on other people, um until COVID happened. Then yes, Linwood, not everyone in the
Yeah,
US.
yeah,
Yes.
Linwood Hall. How you doing, brother? Yeah. So not everyone in the US. I mean, it's different people, different mentalities,
Different
because
areas, which we
the
will talk
US is
about.
such diverse country. There's so many people from all over the world,
Mhm.
and they have different religion, they have different mindset, and they have different outlook of life. So yes, not everybody in the US, from Carl, are like that.
Yeah, but Edward said that he's looking for beef and broccoli now that we're talking. I don't know
I-
why this is like a thing. Whenever we start talking, then we start about we talk
fried
about
rice. Combination fried
No.
rice, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring this up, and this is not a quote from me, okay? But there was another YouTube channel that was calling Bud Crawford a duck, and then people in the chat started saying, "Oh, I like Peking duck," and then I
Peking duck.
started getting hungry. I was like, "Damn it!" I was like, and we were talking about, they were talking about Bud. I was just in the chat, and I was like, now I want Peking duck. I was like
Hey,
clicking on like Uber Eats, how I
Right.
could get like a whole duck, roasted duck.
And we like the spam. So yesterday my son wanted to cook, he was like, Papa, I want breakfast spam in the morning. I'm like, okay, so we cooked breakfast. He helped me out, he did all that stuff. But remember your story with the football player, Rumitra's dad.
Who's never eaten spam?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were
Roger
at
Craig.
Roger Craig, former 49er. His daughter was Romitra, who was on my team for Taekwondo when I think I was 12, she was 13, and Anna was 14. And at that point, like my mom was working, my dad was working, but it was, it was still tight. We were both going to Catholic school and all this stuff. So we went to nationals. We were sponsored by 24 Hour Nautilus, which is now the new 24 Hour Fitness, right? And my parents, being Asian, we are going to talk about stereotypes because this is what we do all the time. So there are stereotypes of us that are true, and I think it's funny. But anyway, so we brought our rice cooker, and I think we brought our rice cooker, and I think they brought a microwave and possibly like a hot pot or something, or an electric what is it called? An electric pan, right?
Yes.
That you just plug in and
Right,
then you
right.
can cook. And don't do this when you're not supposed to be cooking in the hotel, and you're not and you burn things, because you will set off the smoke alarm, and then you're going to get in trouble for cooking in the room. Anyway, long story short, my parents always cooked breakfast and dinner, and one day they were cooking spam in the room, and Roger comes in and he's like, "What are you guys cooking?" And they gave him spam and rice, and he was like, "Where do you buy this?" And we're like, "Bro, it's like you could even buy it at Walgreens. Like, it's not like some culinary like masterpiece."
Yeah, and that's Roger Craig, 49ers, and
Yeah,
he's
he
up
had
there and all
absolutely
that
no idea what
stuff.
spam is.
Yeah, so but yeah, going back into all that conversation.
Yeah, so let's talk about I grew up in San Mateo, California.
Wait, let's say what's up to everybody first, man.
Oh my
we didn't get to say what's up to
Did you work
everybody.
out again today? You are like squirrel.
I did
all
have my
over the
coffee.
place. Okay.
And
all right.
I got my
Roll call.
Yeah.
Overdose HTX boxing. Coach Ricky's in the house. Linwood,
Hey,
you said,
Linwood
of course.
Hall. What's up, brother?
Assman TV.
Marine.
Rugby boys up in
Rugby
here.
boy.
Warriors Boxing LLC.
Chris Steven.
Old Dirty Boxing. Carl. Edward Plex. Pulverizers here.
Paul.
D. Abner Ortega.
That's right.
My
Abner.
dad's here. Morning, Dad. And
Dank
Dank
father.
Father. All right.
Yeah, so everybody out there, thanks for coming in.
What's up?
What's up, y'all? So yeah, this is just a lot of things, because like everybody kind of, have that experience somehow, some way of maybe being stereotyped.
Yes. Well, that's what
Or
I was trying to
discrimination.
get into, is that
Right.
like, so I grew up in San Mateo, and at that time, like the school I went to, there was literally 5 Asians all together. 5 Asians, and it was 3 Filipinos and 2 Chinese, and they grouped us all together all the time, right? They thought that we were all related, and yeah. Hold on, I'm looking for something.
Yeah,
Where is it?
You want to control all this stuff, man. So
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here we go. First one of the morning.
Hey, boom.
Linwood Hall, his $7.57 super check, because he likes to do that.
Yeah.
Hashtag 757. He says LGBTQ Equals plus them have more right than black, brown, and Asian. Shake my head. Love is love. Where is the sinigang and garlic fried rice?
Hey, hey, you know it's
Semper
funny.
Fi.
The
757.
sinigang is like she loves that stuff, man. She loves the sinigang. That's her go-to, you know. So
Yeah, and it could be pork sinigang, and it could be
shrimp, fish,
Oh, the fish one.
yeah,
Hey,
pampano.
Dad, I haven't had the pampano for quite some time,
Right.
but
So
yes, Abner, our music is working. We just had to reset it.
yay.
Thanks, Linwood Hall, for that
Thank you,
super
brother.
chat. Semper Fi. Even though I'm Air Force, aim high. See, you're Semper Fi. You're on the ground. We're Air Force, so we're
Did you
aiming high.
know? Did you know I was gonna go into the Marines?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But you know,
You're so skinny.
so what if I'm skinny? It doesn't
You gotta
have nothing to
carry
do with
a lot of
anything.
stuff. I mean, you shoot really well.
Yeah, I got good eye-hand coordination, but
You're bad at details.
I'm bad at. I'm hugely.
You would just
bad.
cut.
I'm bad.
You'd be like,
I was gonna say hello to my little friend.
yeah. See, this is why you weren't able to come into the Marines. Do not know.
Yeah. But the garlic fried rice, man, that's it.
He said, "No problem. Aim high or protect and serve."
I mean, just keep it simple, man. Fighters are fighters, you know. It's just kind of like that. We just keep it simple and we go out there, you know.
Yeah. So okay. So I just want to give you guys the background of like where I came from. So then you're not like, well, how did you? What kind of situations were you in these you know, whatchamacallit. So like I said, I grew up in a mostly Caucasian community. And we were 5 out of the entire school of kindergarten all the way through 8th grade of 5 Asians. And so when you grew up so you grew up partially.
I grew up on the other side of her town. Her not her town, but she's on the other side of the bridge, and I'm on this side. I'm in the dark side. You know, in the Lion King is like, son, whatever the light touches is our kingdom, except that
That's
part.
Oakland.
That's Oakland. That's where I'm in the area. So, you know, so for us, it was always mainly a lot of
you guys had a lot of diversity.
A lot of diversity. We had a lot of Mexican, we had a lot of black people, we had a lot of Asian too, but like
So would
a
you
lot of
say
Filipino
that
too.
technically Caucasians in your part
We did have a lot of white people too as well.
Do you feel like they were the minority compared to you guys though? Like if you put all the minorities together.
Depends. So for us, if it's going to the outer more like
Where the light doesn't
Livermore, yeah, Livermore, Concord and all the other side, and the other side, you know, then there's a lot of like old money in there, like a lot of Caucasian.
Okay, all
you
right.
know, and
okay.
then you know, and then I guess if we say it, you know, of what's the word? But anyways, there's a lot of diversity in
where you were growing
yeah,
up. Okay,
yeah.
all right. So when you were
So there's a lot of Mexican on that side and a lot of yeah. So both half, it was always half and half.
but there was diversity.
There was a lot of diversity.
So I feel like when you have diversity where you're growing up, like there's more chances to be able to learn from your environment, learn from the people around you, because there is more ability to, you know, meet someone and have a discussion about like where they're from, what their culture's about.
But
Who
the
are
funny
you?
thing though, the it's like the Asian on my side were mostly like they accepted the black communities like
Culture?
that culture, yeah.
Mhm.
So we were more onto, you know, for me I was both because I was boxing. And there was a lot of people that are Mexican fighter boxers, and in the area that we were at, you know, the black community was very strong. They had a lot of, you know,
Hip hop,
influence.
boxing.
Yeah. So they have a lot of influence. A lot of the Asian were on that side more than, you know, because yeah. What?
I have no idea where. See, even Linwood's laughing at you.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know what that had to do with anything. Yes, hip hop is a big thing in the Bay. Okay.
Right.
Anyways.
But I'm just saying that the diversity.
So
The
when
diversity
was the first
everywhere.
time? So ignorance, racism, Asian hate. I feel like ignorance is you just don't know because you weren't exposed. And we are going to talk about situations throughout where they just didn't know. They're not exposed to it. There are parts of the United States still to this day who probably have never seen Asian people, right?
See, Lin will all know what I'm talking about.
Don't side with him just because he wants to be Marine. Okay, don't side with him.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll talk about those certain instances as we're going along.
Like
so
experiences wise,
yeah,
right?
but that's what I feel is ignorance, right? Ignorance is you just don't know because it's
Right.
not
Because
in front
it's
of you.
it's not being taught in your culture, and one, you don't have it around. Like for instance, a lot of my friends growing up, or a lot of my classmates actually, because I didn't really have friends growing up. So let's make it clear, Tier.
Aw.
Oh, you want a tissue?
So they look into my eyes and they tell me, everybody swore that I was Chinese, right?
Mhm.
So
And
they
when
would-
was
they-
this? How old were you then?
I just came to the
Ooh,
United
older.
States. So about, I would say I was about 11,
Mhm.
11, 12 years old.
They thought you were Chinese.
Yeah, but because they didn't know, that's what I'm saying. They did not know.
What city was this in?
San Leandro.
Okay. Okay.
Because I
You
mean,
do not look like Chinese.
well, I'm just saying, like, because my eyes wasn't as open as as other people's were, so they would call me Chinese. They would always call me Chink, What's so funny?
Would that have been your ring name?
Yeah,
Nonito
the
Chink.
Chink.
Nonito Chink. Don't
Why are you
ever-
making fun of me, man?
Because you're nowhere near Chink.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
Chinky.
You're Chinky as hell, yes.
Yeah, and so
But
is my dad.
everybody had
People
bigger
like-
eyes back in
everyone
my
always used to-
town.
Everyone used to always say, "Open your eyes." I'm like, my eyes are open, damn it.
Yeah, but
But your eyes are nowhere near that.
no, but what I'm saying is my eyes were so much smaller compared to other people. But that's what I'm saying. It's like the ignorance of not knowing, right?
Okay, so you feel
But
like it was
it's not.
ignorance.
But yes, that's ignorance because they didn't really know. All it is like this dude is not big eye like us. So and because like say in Mexico, they had a lot of people that are Chinese over there too. A lot of Asian. I mean, Chinese people are all over the place too. So
So are Filipinos.
like
Wherever
Filipinos,
Yeah,
exactly.
wherever Philippine Airlines lands, there's Filipinos there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people would say I was, they call me Chink.
Do you feel like that? Okay, so I understand that was ignorant on their part because
Yes.
they didn't understand. But did you feel like that was the word itself was racist or derogatory?
Well, at that time, I didn't really know, because for me, I thought like Chinese and all this other stuff were like, because that was a time when I didn't speak English, right?
Mhm.
Or just barely get to learn how to speak English. So I thought Chinese was just like Asian, like Asian, because
you mean
in
when they were calling you a chink or when
or
they
Chinese, right?
uh
But not China, because like for me in my head, I didn't know China existed.
What do you mean you didn't know China existed?
I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to speak English.
You
I
could
was in the
swim.
province. I didn't have electricity growing up. I didn't have TV growing up. So how would I know that there's a place called China?
Because there's Chinese boats outside the Philippines circling our waters, and you should.
All we know is that when they say Chinese, it would say Inchik. That's not say Chinese. You know what I'm
Ah.
saying? So I learned Inchik. Inchik means Chinese in my in Filipino.
Yeah.
So Inchik to me doesn't say Chinese. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
When did you find out that Inchik meant Chinese?
I mean, after the fact that I know that there's a place called China.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't grow up with electricity, television, and all of that stuff. And if there was radio, they didn't talk about Chinese people or other countries.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that there were white people and black people
Okay.
because they were something that was told. They were foreigners.
Did you know you were Filipino?
I was. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just.
Come on, man. I'm just saying.
I'm just checking. I'm just.
No, I'm just saying. Like you know what I'm saying. I was ignorant in that sense
Yeah.
because I didn't know that there are other countries besides the Philippines. Well, I know there was Chinese, but it was in Chick.
So if they were gonna give you a map, you were gonna write that country was in.
I didn't know it. I didn't see it. I mean, I was only, and then America. America was the one they was talking about because America is the land of the free, land of opportunity. So
Yeah.
everybody wanted to go to America,
Yeah.
and now here I was in America and there was different diversity, different people,
Mm.
And so I was always scared because I was always told that I wasn't good enough, that you got to respect the foreigners because the foreigners are better than us.
Well, that's why they call us model minority, right?
Well, but I'm just saying, like, the mentality of the province. They told us because we were poor, we didn't have anything.
But I'm saying it's not because of that, though. It's not just because of that. That was something ingrained with you as you were growing up. But the
Right.
whole thing about a model minority is the fact
I don't even
that
know what that means.
Oh.
Explain it to me.
So model minority is pretty much that we're minorities, right?
See,
And yet we don't.
Trayshawn Edwards, he understand what I'm talking about.
I don't. So maybe you should come up here and host this channel. Like I'm just looking at him like he's crazy. So model minority is just basically the fact that out of all the minorities, we're supposed to allegedly be the ones that don't
Allegedly.
cause
Everything online, you got to say allegedly.
well, because okay, I didn't say it. They're really heatedly brought up during COVID.
See, D said you look more Chinese. Yes.
I know I look Chinese. No one can tell what the hell I am. Trust me. We will get into what happened.
This is my introduction with Rach.
Oh my
when she comes online. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh my! Oh, now
I'm just playing.
you're so racist. So racist.
I'm just playing.
That's
I'm
like
just
when
playing.
people go, "Oh my god!" Like it's just like, "Yeah, Rachel, you do karate, right?" Like, no, taekwondo. Oh, same thing. No,
Same
it's
thing.
not.
Same thing.
See, now this is gonna go into a crazy different like realm, and you need to remind me about this crap, okay? Because so in case you don't know, this is War Wednesday. So War Wednesday, y'all can come up and say whatever you guys want.
If you guys speak it all out.
This is we're warring against ignorance and racism and
Right.
Asian hate.
Yes.
You need to remind me, since we
Remind
were
you.
talking about this, about Cobra Kai. Okay.
Cobra
'Cause
Kai.
You know how pissed off I was.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll
Cobra
come
Kai.
full circle. Promise you.
Strike first. No mercy.
What is wrong with you today?
I'm just saying, so yeah, Eagle
All right.
Fang, karate.
Okay, so so they called you
Chink.
Chink. What else and then you were 11.
12,
What
11,
were
12,
you were you ever put into a category, or did they exclude you because you were Asian at any point? They tell you to go back to China?
I mean, there was a lot, mainly coming from white kids. Mainly coming from white kids. They'd they'd always exclude me, like I didn't belong in the school.
What would they say?
Huh?
What would they say?
Well,
Or
they
was
would.
it just like they would ignore you?
Yeah, they would ignore and they
Okay.
would make fun of me. Every time I would say something, they would like ching chong 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 ching, all kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Did you want to punch him?
Well, I was bullied during that time, so I couldn't really say anything.
No,
so
but
I was just kind of like,
I'm asking
oh,
about
do
your
I want to punch
feelings.
him? Like deep within me, I wanted to go. Oh, ho, ho,
Oh, here we
ho.
go again. Is
I'm
this going to
just
be the theme song for this podcast?
No, I'm just saying, like I wanted to do some, some stuff. I wanted to hurt him. But that's me as a young kid being made fun of. You know what I mean? So that's that's one of those things. I mean, if somebody's making fun of you, of course, what do is you want to get back at them.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like there was when you were younger, because I want to stay with where we were younger first, right? Did you feel like there were opportunities in school, in boxing, that were taken away from you, or do you feel like because of how boxing is, that gave you an even footing?
Well, the thing was, I boxed, but nobody knew I was boxing, right? Because my dad was always telling me that you have to not use your
Tell
skills.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even tell people, but you can't use your skills on other people because you have the ability to hurt them.
Yeah.
So for me, I was always following my pops.
What happened? Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I followed everything my dad told me to do.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't, even though I was already boxing and I could beat these guys up,
Yeah.
I didn't do it, and I still got bullied because I just kind of like I felt like, you know, that was my responsibility to not be impatient and just go with my rage rather than being patient and just forgive them. And maybe this is why I'm so forgiving, because I grew up that way.
But in boxing, what I'm saying is like it doesn't matter your race. Like once you put on 2 gloves, you make your weight. Like you're on an even playing field.
Right.
I mean, unless it goes to scorecards and like, did you ever feel like there was a scorecard when you were growing up?
There was a lot of BS scorecard.
No, but that attributed to racism in the sport.
I think so, because I mean, more like favoritism, right?
Okay.
Because some of the kids, they're connected to the judges or whatever, right? And
Like familial ties or
like sometimes familiar ties, and sometimes the head of the boxing in, say, Northern California, right? His son would always beat me, even though I beat his son,
Mhm.
right? So I don't think it's more of racial stuff. I think it's more of favoritism, because there's a lot of favoritism
Okay.
in the boxing world, or in the amateurs.
Mhm.
Anybody can tell you that.
Yeah. Okay. So when can you say was your first time that you felt like someone was being either ignorant or racist towards you? Like a comment or
I
action that
mean,
made
just
you step
everywhere I
back?
went back in the 5th grade or fourth, 5th grade, they would call me Ching all the time.
Yeah.
So that was like the thing. They'd call me Ching,
Okay.
or they would make fun of me when I speak. They would make ching ching chong ching ching whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though I didn't sound like that. But
No, you sound like that. You sound like that
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
they, they always put, it's like, what are you talking about? One of those old kung fu movies. But
The one with subtitle or voiceovers?
yeah, yeah. So people makes Carl was saying, people mistake kindness for weakness, and all the time, until you put one on their chin. That was one of the things, is that when you start to fight, that's when they start to respect you. But for me, I was always told not to be violent or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only reason they started respecting me, that was in high school, is because they saw me on ESPN winning the junior Olympics.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now you're into adult life. You still haven't really okay, so let me give you some examples, because I feel like you probably did have these situations and you're just not recognizing it.
Yeah. So
What?
All Dirty Boxing said, did you ever laugh when they would do things like that? I laugh now because it was funny.
But you
Because
didn't
it's
laugh
funny.
then?
I didn't laugh is because I was made fun of and people laughed at me, right? But it's so funny because back home or in the house with my family and all that stuff, they would do that. And we would laugh about it. But
Mhm.
during when it happened, it wasn't
that
funny. It wasn't
Okay.
funny.
So the one and I'm probably gonna jump all around when I was growing up, because I'll start remembering things. But okay.
Yeah, we just,
No, you like to
I know,
never
I know.
grew up around Asian people. This is why you don't have the mouth.
I
because
know,
you
I
just
know.
but I was used to seeing them, and I always loved the culture. That's good.
It
See,
would be
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
it would be like, who's the master?
Oh my god.
Showed up.
First of all, you just watched that like 6 years ago. So
I
you don't
know,
get
I
to
know. I
tell
didn't
me,
have it growing
okay?
up.
He didn't even know what that was. When he was like,
Who's the man?
oh god.
Showed up.
Okay. So,
Kiss
let's
my
see.
Converse.
Okay, so this is what I call ignorance, right? When I went to when I was in the military, I was
She
stationed
did.
over at F.E. Warren, which is in Cheyenne, Wyoming. If you guys don't know your your geography, or you're from outside the United States, Cheyenne, Wyoming is a town out like pretty much, I would say 40 minutes from Fort Collins, Colorado, about an hour or two away from Denver, Colorado. Okay. Um, Mostly horses. It's a town with a radius of 5 miles. Stop
I'm
it.
just reading all.
Stop.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
can't with you.
I know.
So anyway, because it was an Air Force town, they had Filipinos. And, but it was such a small community. And I would go, like there was times where there was people that was visiting. And there was one time in particular that there was two Japanese girls and they were talking to each other in Japanese. And they asked me, they're like, "Hey, can you go find out what they need, what they're talking about, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Why don't you go up and talk to them?" And they're like, "Well, because I'm not Japanese." And I looked at them and I'm like, "I'm not Japanese." And they're like, "Oh, we know that. You're Filipino." I'm like, "So how does this connect?" And they're like, "Well, Japanese, Filipino, you guys speak the same language, right?" And I'm like, "No, we don't speak the same language." But I attribute that to
Ignorance, right?
ignorance. Yeah,
Yeah, I would say that
I don't
too.
think that they were being malicious at any point. Because these were people I had befriended after like probably a year or two being there. So I know their heart. It's just they just didn't know. You know what I mean? And I
Right,
can't fault
right,
them for
right.
not knowing. And I hope, I taught them that there is a difference between all of us and we're not all grouped together into one.
Yeah, like look at. She's not Chinese or
Oh my
Japanese.
God.
She's Korean.
I know.
I would
I
say, "What's
know.
up to Tate? What's up, brother?" This is what's funny. I did not just watch it 3 years ago. It was more than that.
6, I said.
Oh, 6? No, I would say more than that.
No,
I would say more than that.
no.
But I love the movie, man. He got the glow. Don't mess with me, bro.
He
Yeah, so
literally would quote this movie in front of him and he's like, "I don't know what you guys are talking about." When
yeah.
finally I was like, "Okay, that's it. We're sitting down and watching this movie."
Because when I was in the Philippines, again, we didn't have any we didn't have electricity growing up, right? But when I was towards the end, then that's when I had electricity.
There's
But we
literally
didn't have TV.
No, but there's literally a whole like probably 3 or 4 years in like between the 90s. Yeah, I'd say the 90s and 2000. No, the 90s, early 90s that he misses
A
the
lot.
entire like that gap.
Like
so
from 80 late like mid 80s,
I'd say 91.
80s to early 90s.
Yeah, he doesn't like. So I'll play music from that part, like that was hip hop or whatever, and he would have absolutely no idea what that
Bruce
music was.
Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I say that's ignorance. Did you have any situations where it wasn't malicious and they just
What do you mean?
that they weren't saying it like okay, let me do another one. Right? Like let's see. Oh, um, when we went to Philly, and I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen any Asian people around here at all. Do you guys have Asian peoples?" And someone said, "Take her to Chinatown." I'm like, "Why the hell do you have to take me to Chinatown for me to see people?"
Rap,
And
what's up, Rap?
And like I'm gonna know, like my ancestors are from there. Or I have a cousin walking around because I don't,
Right.
like so.
Well, there was one like they would say, this is funny because back in the days, back again in the elementary school, grade school, they would always look at me, "Don't mess with him because he knows kung fu." You know what I'm saying? Until they found out I didn't know kung fu. Then they started messing with me like crazy.
Oh,
I should have said like, come on, let's go."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Done your little shadow.
I know.
Boxing,
Well, I didn't
this.
box back in the days,
I know, but you
in the
you
5th
could
grade,
imitate
6th grade.
Bruce Lee's footwork, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have just been, "Oh,
Yeah. Then they wouldn't have messed with you at all. At all.
I should have just been like, "Oh, oh." What is that? Oh.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, Oh, man.
Too early in the morning.
Oh, there's
Okay.
never too early.
How about racism then? Like, have you experienced racism?
Racism. I don't know. I can't even think of a lot. A lot of things, because I kind of just get numb to the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it seems like to me like
I got a lot of experience that name callings and all that stuff that I learned to just kind of ignore things. You know what I mean? There were, I mean, they would always pick everybody else before me, right? But because I was scrawny, I was little, you know. So, but I believe I kind of just closed my mind into that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there was a lot of times that they would they would they would s- they would say something, right? And I would just kind of like ignore things because that was my norm in the daytime, in the daily.
Well, so let me give you an example of what happened to my dad. I was fighting at the Worldwide Sports Complex in Disney World in Orlando, Florida. He was flying in from New York. I'm gonna smack you this time.
You should smack me every time. You know, go ahead. Back New
No,
York.
now I don't want to tell my
No,
story.
go tell your story.
It's not even my story. It's my dad's story.
Whoa!
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, my dad was supposed to fly in from New York to Florida, but his flight got canceled. So he ended up flying, I think, to Houston or Louisiana.
Mhm.
And then he rented a car. Now, this was back in, okay. Oh, wait, no, I was reversing it. I was actually fighting in New Orleans. I was fighting in Louisiana. He flew into Florida. And yeah, see, my dad's corrected me. And so he had to rent a car and cross the states.
Right.
But if you guys don't know, like a lot of those small towns within the states haven't seen Asian people, right? And I guess they were messing with him. He was just he pulled over. It wasn't a Denny's. It was like a mom and pop whatchamacallit, diner. And when he was just trying to drink his coffee so he can continue on the road, there was like a football team of Caucasian kids that not football team, but two guys with their girlfriends, and they were throwing like spit wads on his like table, and he ignored it and ignored it and ignored it until one landed in his coffee. But the only reason that they were messing with him was because he was Asian.
Yeah.
You know?
But then your dad looks like he's a kung fu master, so no one should mess with him. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
The only thing he needs is those little, was it Fu Manchu, whatever you call them?
Yeah, the
You
really
know?
long,
The
like
little long,
mustache.
yeah, just be like,
Yep. Exactly.
yeah.
So did you nothing like that? No physical.
I mean, I get a lot of the kids, like those white kids, would always push me, you know, just smack me everywhere and just push me around and all that stuff. But because I was Asian, or just because I was scrawny and easy to pick on. So for me, I felt like all of that stuff happened because I was a target, not just because I was Asian, because I was a target, because they could not, you know, I couldn't, regardless of what they did, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do anything. And that's I think that's the problem, was everything that I experienced wasn't just racism. It was because I was a target. There was a big target in my back that, hey, this is a kid that everybody's gonna be able to mess around with, and he won't do nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll take it to basically, because we have such different life experiences. I think that you grew up with more of a diverse community than I did.
Yeah.
I just like shoved myself into diverse communities to, you know, especially when I got into the military, and you know, going out and going to Oakland, going to San Jose, like really, we traveled a lot, so we had a lot of diversity that way. But where I grew up wasn't very diverse. So yeah, let's.
But wasn't the one movie Gangster's Paradise was like based on the other school that was you guys nearby?
Gangster's Paradise was based off of San Carlos High School, which was 2 miles down the road from Notre Dame Belmont.
Okay.
But that's a public school.
Okay.
I went to an all-girls private
Catholic school, yes.
So,
yes.
like, I don't know, there's like, maybe there's a street they weren't allowed to cross or something. I didn't know that San Carlos was supposed to be that gangster, a gangster's paradise.
Yeah, right.
Apparently.
That's
you
hilarious.
know? Oh, Carl said to sing it. Do you even know that song?
I know the song, but I don't know how to sing it.
He's gonna trash it, Carl. He's gonna
Yeah.
completely trash this.
Yeah.
All right. So do you guys want to hear what happened to us the last weekend and why this conversation, or should we talk about, no, let's talk about Cobra Kai first.
You want to talk about Cobra Kai first?
Yes, and then we're gonna talk about what happened
Yeah. Okay.
to us and why it says Nonito confronted. Okay. Cobra Kai. Okay, when I'm watching Cobra Kai now I'm cringing because I'm like, how in the world was I like such a fan
Strike
of
first,
this,
no mercy.
of this movie a long time ago, right? And it was like, okay, like it's really not that big of a martial arts movie, but you know, they're going through their casting and all of these other stuff. So I was fine with everything up until the last season. The last season.
Oh, with that little old lady.
She's not. Yeah.
That,
the sensei
that had like stilettos or something. She was
Yes,
wearing high
in
heels.
the dojo.
Yeah.
So
okay.
here's the problem. They were and people are gonna be like, who cares? But the Asian culture, and I feel like this is washing the Asian culture, right? Is karate and Cobra Kai and all this other stuff. Miyagi-Do is based off of Japan. They brought in
What about Eagle Fang?
Eagle Fang is totally not from
That's
Japan.
right.
And then the girl they brought in was from Korea, and they did Tang Soo-do.
Yes.
And Tang Soo-do is Korean. And so they were trying extremely hard to merge the two into
Taekwondo.
No, they weren't merging into Taekwondo. They're merging it in, like they were trying to push Tang Soo-do as, you know, as Japanese. They were messing up the
nationalities.
The nationalities, sensei versus Sabanim, like, which is the Korean master. Like they were just,
I don't even know that.
They were just destroying it. They could not tell if they were supposed to be Japanese or Korean in the Cobra Kai series.
No heels in the dojo.
That's it. Yes, no heels. She was wearing heels. Like, yeah.
Hey,
So
Carl,
that was
I get
my
that a lot,
opinion.
man. You know, I think she should have like an eye in the back of her head because she just does that all the time, right, baby?
Mhm.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so
Yeah. So
I'm just ignoring him at this
all
point.
right.
I'm just kicking him off of the podcast. All right, so press 1 if you guys want to hear our racism or Asian hate story
No,
now,
the
or you
fight.
guys want to.
We should talk about the fight.
That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah, but you're saying a story.
Because it is a story.
You just go directly to.
No.
Hiya.
Okay, who's it? Press 1 if
Hiya.
you guys want to hear about what happened
Whoa.
to us last weekend. There's only one. Dad, you already know the story.
Does he?
I think so.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyways, we're gonna tell the story.
All right. So we ended up going out to we were flown out to
Philadelphia, but the place was in New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia, just across the bridge.
Did not know how close Philly was to Jersey.
Did not know either. Yes.
And we ended up staying in Jersey, in just in a hotel over there. And the first night that we were there, we were starving, because we had left here. What time did we leave? Like 8:45. 7. We left here at 7, but we got there at 3, and then got to the hotel around 5 or 6. Right. So when we did that, I was like, okay, there's a restaurant. Let's just go to that restaurant. Right. We walk into the restaurant and they're line dancing in the restaurant.
Yeah, I was learning how to do it too.
They were line dancing.
See,
and
New Country probably knows how to do it.
New Country probably knows how to line dance. So, when they were line dancing, like we're sitting at a table, nobody was serving us. So I told Nonito.
It was about 15, 20 minutes. No one even looked at us. So I was like, hey, let's just go to the bar. I think, we're right in front of them. So
yeah, that way they can't ignore us.
They'll be like, hey, I'm right here. You can't ignore me.
Yeah, so we sat at the bar, and the first thing this girl does is, she's like, oh, can I get your drink order? And I say, I was like, sure. Do you guys have like Prosecco? And she goes, no, we have champagne. They didn't have champagne. It was Moscato, and she was trying to sell it off like it was champagne.
Well,
But
they were
anyways,
told supposedly that it was sold as champagne, but it was Moscato. It was sweet
can't be
as
a
heck.
bartender and not know your liquor.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I understand that.
No.
Now, would you call that ignorance?
Yes, she's ignorant for a bartender. But anyways, it was like they would continuously roundabout serve everyone their food and all that stuff. And I ordered a damn salad,
Right.
and it took 50 minutes for me to get. And it was like me following up. I was
Right,
like, hey,
right.
did y'all forget my salad?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were like, forget this. We're gonna go. On the way back to our hotel, we're like, well, let's stop at this other place. So we stop at this bar kind of yeah. And I order what is it called? The cheese plate, have a glass of wine. And the bartender was really cool.
Yeah, the bartender was really nice.
Yeah, and she's all, oh, we have karaoke. And I was like, you said that because we're Asian. And
we have karaoke
we
tomorrow.
were just playing with her. So
Yeah.
she said that they had karaoke tomorrow, so we were gonna come back. So, we did all of our stuff in Philly, came back to Jersey, and and after that, like we went to the karaoke bar, and you guys sang, YB sang, everyone was having a really good time. And then all of a sudden, this guy across the bar from me, just kept looking at me, and I'm like, okay, why does he keep looking at me? And he's all, man, I thought you were my ex-wife. And I was like, yeah, not your ex-wife. And he's all, are you Laos? And I'm like, no, I'm not Laos. And I was like, why would you even just come up to someone, don't even ask me my name, and just be like, are you Laos? And he's like, well, because you look like my ex-wife. I'm like, no, I'm not Laos. And so he continues to try to guess my nationality, probably for the good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I gave him the biggest hint. He was like, but you're Asian, right? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, Japanese, Korean. And he goes all, I think he said, there was something else he said. And I was like, no. And finally I said 7,000 islands. And I'm like, still didn't get it. I'm like, dude, just pull out your phone and bring up Asian island, Asian country, 7,000 islands. Finally, he got Philippines. And so, he was like, oh, I should have known this, and that, whatever. But he was cool after that. Some reason, this guy was like, they were playing I think they were talking about Dana White and Power Slap or whatever. So one of the servers would actually slapped him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy cow. And he's like, no, we're just playing around. And I was like, I should slap you for calling me Laos. And Noni was like, don't you dare. I was like, I'm not. And so I go over there. Noni was like, don't you dare slap him. I was like, no, I'm gonna slap him. So anyway, he was like, I want to see how hard you slap. So he puts his hand up like this, right? I was like, and I go, you're going to need 2 hands. So he goes like this, like it's like a boxing pad. And I'm like, okay. And I tie up my hair. He goes, oh, this is not good. You're tying up your hair. Like that actually means business. And I was like, no, come on, we're good. So he's just holding it like this. And so I just slap his hand, right?
She slapped it really hard. So
I slapped it really hard.
It felt like a close fist slap.
No, it didn't. My hand was open. Okay. And I've been watching Power Slap, so I know how they do it. They do it with their palm and it has to hit the cheek. But anyway, I was hitting his double hand like this. That's all. Anyway, so after that, he's like laughing. He's like, hell no, no way am I ever going to take that slap on my face. And then he gives me a high five, and I'm walking back to our side of the bar. But on the end of the bar, so Guy was here, I'm on this side, end of bar, right here. So I have to go all the way around to get back to my seat. As I'm going around, there's a group of 6 Caucasians right here. Total cowboyish. And the girl on the corner right here, then there's another girl right here. The girl on the corner right here scoots her chair back and puts her arm out to block me. And she says, she's all, you don't put your hands on no white man. And I'm like, excuse me? And she's like, you don't put your hands on no white man. And I was like, we were just playing around. And she's like, I don't care. She's like, you don't. And I was like, so me specifically can't do that. I was like, waitress just a second ago actually slapped him in the face. I slapped his hand. And she's like, you can't, like, basically just kept saying that I couldn't put my hands on a white man, and specifically a white man. And so in my head, I'm like, I'm wondering if these two are together, right? Like this group plus that guy that I was talking to. But I don't feel like that because with this six, why wouldn't you talk to them if that was your friend, right? So I get back and he's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, that girl said that I'm not supposed to put my hands on a white man." And he's like, "And?" I was like, "I was trying to de-escalate and be like, dude, we're good. There's nothing, there's no problem here. We were having fun, blah 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 blah." And then the two girls ended up coming behind us and continued to talk mess. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the one that's been talking this whole time, talking crap. Because there was one that was blocked me, then there's one that was like this chirper the entire time that I was over there. So she starts coming at Nonito.
And she was saying all this stuff, and I told her, I'm like, man, why don't y'all go home, man? You guys shouldn't be here. We
It's
were all
karaoke nights, Asian nights.
So go home. I told him go home, and then she just started swinging at me, right? And then she caught me a little bit right here on her nail that like scratched my face
Yeah,
a little
it's not
bit.
there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
No, you heal really quickly.
Yeah. So and then a little bit of my hand. She was like little cat, and I just grabbed her by the neck. I grabbed her by the neck, and then she stopped moving from there. I grabbed her by the neck, and then this dude, one of her
It
dude.
wasn't a neck grab. It was like a clavicle.
It was like shoulder, neck, like right here, like that.
But she had already scratched you.
Yeah, well, because she was throwing, so I just kind of pushed her that way. Because in boxing, when you kind of control people, it's not the head really, because they can move. It's right here in the neck. So that's what I did, was hold her right there in the neck and the shoulder, so that she won't be able to hit. So for me, I was just like this, and then the other guy came at me, and he was like, "You don't put your hands on her," and then I grabbed him. Like I had two puppies in my hand. I grabbed him by the neck too to keep his distance and to keep her from hitting me because I wasn't gonna hit her, And then I just grabbed both of these guys like I was putting the puppies on their necks. That's pretty much what I did with both of them. Nothing really happened.
Yeah, nothing really happened.
But they couldn't do nothing because they were just kind of
at a distance.
I put them at the distance where they can't both hit me.
Yeah. And like I honestly felt, I'm like, yep, we're gonna get arrested. Like this is, of course it's gonna be the little Asian's fault. But at the same time, like I was like, there's six of them, three of us. And YB kind of looks white, so they might have been confused about that.
Well,
and wait. So YB was there and he held one of them at bay, right?
I think so. I was just kind of focusing
on
both
guy
of
who
them.
I was playing Power Slap with
Was on our side.
And broke them up.
Yeah.
And so it was actually quite funny, but we didn't get kicked out. They got kicked out because they were the ones that were starting all that mess.
Right.
And it was funny because after they all got escorted out, the dude, Power Slap dude, he was like, "What was that about?" I go, "It's your fault." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I slapped your hand and they said I shouldn't put my hands on a white dude." He goes, "I have no idea who those people are." I was like, "Well, they were defending your honor."
Right.
That's
So
the
that
reason
was
we
what
got
happened. It was
confronted.
very funny. But I didn't do anything. I just kind of put them at bay where, they won't hit me. But I told the guy, please do hit me, because if he did, then I would have retaliated. Because I did, I wanted the girl, I was holding her back. But the guy kind of holding back right here. I told him, please do hit me so I can hit you back. So.
Well, yeah, and at that point, he probably was like, he knows kung fu.
Yeah, he knows kung fu. I can't mess with him. So, anyways, please do come in if you got a story to, you want to share to other people or just want to talk about. Please come in the chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's chop it up. Everybody got their stories, man. So please do come in and hang out with us and tell your story.
Jerry Smoot, what's up? What's up? They were two racist idiots. That whole six. That was the whole thing.
Yeah. We were just having fun. The bartender,
girls,
everybody was great.
Yeah.
Except for them, so they were like, you can't put your hand on a white man.
Yeah.
Or whatever, so.
Well, we had a feeling this was because like we were talking to, the boxers and the dad that had the trainer that had brought us out there. And they're like, you went where last night? And
Yeah,
we're
like
this place. And he goes, you picked the like
It was close to the
worst place
hotel.
to go. But you know, like it for us, like it's like, well, we were hungry, like and you didn't tell us, like it's like, well, I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
No,
so
new country. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm glad that nothing really happened because if the guy did something, I mean, I would. The thing about fighters is when we have our trigger, it's hard to stop us. That's just how it is, you
yeah,
know. So glad that maybe they thought that, oh, this guy knows kung fu or whatever, because they literally stopped
yeah.
after I grabbed them by their shoulder, neck ish, you know.
But literally,
They
like
stopped.
we were looking for Asians the entire time we were in that city or that town.
You were looking.
I was looking, and I didn't see one. And so
I did.
that's why I'm like, is it racist or they just never seen an Asian? They don't know how to act around this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like
I
it
mean,
was such a small town.
who was it again that was here that didn't really have? Was it you know, who didn't really have any Asian in their school and all that stuff were growing up,
Mhm.
but um he did see a lot, you know, and that he loves the culture and all that
Trayshawn.
stuff.
Was
Yeah,
it Trayshawn?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was. But
Yeah,
anyways, yes, I think it has a lot to do with like how you grew up and what you know what you're exposed to and the conversations you have really.
right.
I mean, you know, one of the most interesting thing is Jarrell has no like so one of the most sweetest moments was we were talking about Martin Luther King. I think he was a kindergartner. Um
No, Carl, no spider stories.
so he was a kindergartner and he was doing a report on Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
And he was talking about, you know, the rights and we were having conversations about it. And um I was like, so back then they couldn't vote, they blah 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 blah. And they wanted equality. And he literally looked at me, he goes, Mama, are we black? And I'm like, no, why would you think that we are? And he's like, well, do we have to fight for rights with him? And I was like, no, this is from before. But so for me, I'm like, they don't see color. Like
yeah.
children
You're
don't
right.
see
They
color.
don't have that
Someone teaches them.
discrimination.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like that's the thing is that they don't know, you know, at one point he thought I was Russian. Do you remember that? He was like, Mama, you're Russian. I'm like, how am I Russian? If you're Filipino, how am I Russian? Right?
I don't know. But you know, again,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
what?
Growing up, going to school, we didn't have any black folks or Asian folks in our school, just a couple of Ho Chunk Indians. Is Ho Chunk I'm just going to assume that that's a tribe. I don't think that's a tribe. Peter Vaughn, is that a tribe?
That's a long time ago. I'm really old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm saying like a lot of this stuff are learned. You know, a lot of this stuff are learned from society, from families, and from all of that stuff. Oh, it is a tribe.
Okay. Cool. They have a lot of traditions too. And I'm sure like yeah, if you've been hearing a lot of the stuff like they've been, you know, fighting for different for I believe Avatar was the one that they were saying that they were not really happy about because they felt like it was a whitewashing
Right.
of
And
their
even all this
culture.
stuff now, which is great, is like the Disney, right? The princess, the swimming princess, what is it called?
Ariel.
Ariel, there you go. The swinging one, that yeah. So you know how it's not. A lot of people were saying like, oh, that's not how Disney had it. I'm like, the book doesn't state or whatever you were saying. Remember what I'm
well,
saying?
I mean,
Like,
that's going into a whole different thing. People want the narrative to fit their narrative, their fairy tale.
right.
And so what he was talking about was when we were talking about like people were arguing that the Little Mermaid is an African American.
The swimming princess. There you
The
go.
swimming princess. You could tell we don't have
I
girls.
see Linwood said that was a tribe, the Ho Chunk.
Yeah. They run all the gambling casinos. They run all the gambling casinos everywhere.
Wow.
But as far as the swimming princess, the Little Mermaid,
Yeah, the Little Mermaid.
there was such an outrage when I don't know, it's Haley Berry. Anyway, got
Not Halle Berry.
not Halle Berry.
Haley Berry.
Haley Berry got casted as the Little Mermaid in in the Little Mermaid, And there was such an outroar because she was not this white, green-eyed, redheaded girl like the
little
old
princess.
Disney story from
Right.
like what was it, the 90s or
Yeah.
something. And I thought it was funny because all these people have absolutely no damn idea that the original Little Mermaid
From the book.
from the book of folklore was the whole thing was that she actually tries to kill the prince and she commits suicide at the end. So, I mean, like, we literally just want to have things that we are like, we're like, oh, that connects with me and all this stuff, even though that it might be a, a false, just so it sounds better with our narrative. And people want that to be like some type of way, especially when they're either ignorant or racist because they can't understand why these people either A look like that, act like that, except or they blame them from something in their past.
And I think that as human beings, we restrict ourselves because of the narrative that we've learned growing up, you know. Um, and a lot of it is it becomes hate, you know, when it became um first it was something that they look at in their narrative, but then they look at it as it doesn't fit me, and it becomes somewhat hate where, you know, because it doesn't fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of us, myself and you know, and everybody else, they have that narrative of who they are, what they how they should act, and how they should treat other people regardless because of either religion, either looks, colors, you
Well,
know.
here we go. So this is why I'm trying to pull it out of you because there's a couple different times that this has happened, but you don't want to say it.
What's that?
Where's my bell? There it
Oh, there
is.
it
Hey,
is.
Carl.
Hey, Carl.
He's gonna put right
Carl.
on
How
this.
you going, guys?
How you doing?
Hey, Carl. Hold
Good,
on, real
mate.
quick. I want you to tell. I want you to tell them
Huh.
how you said that they wouldn't sign Filipinos because you couldn't crack an egg.
Right. So back in early 2000 when I started boxing, um, it was I was trying to sign myself for a promotion, but they wouldn't sign me because this was before Pacquiao, and every time that they would, they'd use me as a stepping stone. But I ended up beating all those guys. But the reason was because they would always state that Filipino cannot crack an egg. Therefore, we will not sign them and we will only use them, right? Because back in the days before Pacquiao came in the picture, Filipinos were used as stepping stones because they would always get knocked out, right? Except for one guy was Jerry Peñalosa before that, but he couldn't knock people out either. He had great styles and all of that stuff, but he didn't have that power. And so Pacquiao came in the picture, and that's when they started signing Filipinos. But back in the days, they would always tell me that we're not signing you because you're Filipino. So because of their narratives and what they've seen, you know, they would never give them an opportunity or, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. What's up, Carl?
Not much, mate. Just listening in.
So, Australia, you were saying something about Australia. They don't really have that problem.
Nah, man. I mean, I was bullied at school, but it wasn't because of colour or anything. It was just because I was the new kid, you know. And once I cracked one dude on the chin, mate, I was accepted.
That's usually the easiest thing, right? Or
Yeah,
they'll call their older brothers and stuff like that.
yeah. But I mean, the race thing in Australia, man. Like Australia's so like our cultures are just. We've got every culture under the sun, so I think we're a bit more accepting of people.
Okay.
Um, and we don't see it as like skin color, this, that, and I'm
Right.
sure there is racism in Australia, no doubt. But yeah, we just don't seem to cop it or put up with it, mate. Simple as that. If we see it, we stamp it out pretty quick, you know.
Right. See, the difference though, Carl, is here, you know, back where I grew up and all my streets, you know, in my area, my town was you didn't fit in and you fought somebody, they got other people, the gang and all that stuff. They go in tribes, they
Yeah, right.
and that's the difference. It was really difficult to fight if you only had yourself. It wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't like you can beat them up, but make sure that you better know how to hide at the end of the day or at the end of school day, because they would gang up on you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a bit different,
That
isn't it?
old dirty boxing said Rachel left because she doesn't want to take part of the spider talks.
Yeah, she's scared. She don't want the smoke. I know how she rolls.
And no, she has a business call just right now, so that's what
No,
she
that's
does.
cool.
Like,
Hey,
go work.
damn work. Hey, when do you think you'll be making an announcement, mate, on your fight?
Well, that's the thing we have right now is we're just waiting for the negotiation to come into fruition, with Maloney. So that's one thing that we
Yep.
are putting our eyes on is the Maloney fight, and we're just waiting for the negotiation to be together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think
So
it'll be over? Do you think it'll be over here or in the States?
you know what? I honestly, man, I don't care, and and yeah. What's up? What's up, Boxing Talk
What's up,
101?
Nonito? What's up, Carl?
How are you, mate?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah. So, well, do you have any experience when it comes down to all that racism, hate, and all that stuff? It just doesn't have to be racism, just discrimination and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of people that have gone through a lot of experience, having that kind of experience.
Are you asking me?
Yes, sir.
I have not, but I guess more than anything, I kind of had a question because you had kind of brought it up earlier about how when you were coming up, and they were telling you couldn't crack an egg, and obviously this was before Pacquiao. You mentioned. Um, do you feel like now? Do you feel like now moving forward after Pacquiao? Do you think it helps, or do you think it doesn't help? You think it gets in the way of people, Filipinos specifically, because people are always looking for that next Pacquiao?
100%. I think they want the next thing to come out, right? And so they're always looking for it, which is good for the country because it gives them a lot of opportunities to have the fighters, so they always look at what can come out in the Philippines. So right now you see a lot of the guys, and they're always labeling them as the next Pacquiao.
Yeah, they are. I've noticed.
And because they do that, it messes up with the kid's mind, and then they come out and become less than what they were expected to do, and there's a lot of things stereotypical too as well. One of the guys here was saying that they would always look at a black person as very athletic, and that's what one of the guys was saying, because there's always that look of because you are this, you should be able to become this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing with the Filipinos, because with what they have come to see in Pacquiao, they'll be like, yeah, he might be the next Pacquiao. Let's try him out, and then they get disappointed and stuff like that and just throw him out, and it's unfortunate because the guys may come up, for me, I lost my second fight. And if anybody else gave up on me because I lost my second fight, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I think that all of that has to kind of stop.
Because I noticed that too with so early in his career, that Olympian guy, Martial. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yumir Martial.
Yes, where people are already like, oh, he's the next Pacquiao, and I'm like, can you guys let him get a couple fights first?
That's what I'm saying. Just they put so much pressure because, again, the difference, like say, with black fighters, they have a lot throughout the history of boxing. Mexican fighters, they have a lot throughout the history of boxing, and it doesn't come out to them like, oh, you're gonna be the next Chavez, or oh, you're gonna be the next whoever, right?
Yeah.
So with Filipinos, we have Pacquiao, we have me, we have Jerry Peñalosa, we had Elorde back in the days.
Mhm.
So there's not much we can only count a handful of people that really made it. I mean, there's a lot of world champions in the Philippines, but they never really stayed that long. So when it comes down to that, they want that superstar like Pacquiao was, and so they're looking for that gold mine to see if the diamond is there that they can clean it up, and present it. But unfortunately, it just doesn't come out. It's just because you're putting too much pressure on them.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of in this scenario or in that scenario, I guess, counter I don't know. Not I don't wanna say counter racism, but like they put a label on Filipino fighters,
Right.
and it kinda backfires a little bit sometimes, sometimes.
I mean, when you have so much things that you're looking at and so much expectation, and that expectation gets pushed out, and everybody's disappointed, you know, it becomes a trend, and you see it already with Filipinos coming up. They go up, like Angkas, right? He was the next Pacquiao, you
Mhm.
know, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden they just disappear, and again, because of that pressure, because of that expectation. And growing up in the Philippines, when they have that expectation, it puts a lot of weight on your shoulder, because you think that it's the whole country's behind you and all that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rich Money. What's up, bro? So yeah, no, that I think that's a bad thing. It's a bad when you have an expectation. Guess what? Most of the time, it doesn't. You don't meet it.
How old
Yeah,
were you
yeah,
when
the
you left
bar
the
is just really high.
Philippines, Nonito?
What's that?
How old were you when you left the Philippines, bro?
I was about 10, 11 years old.
Okay, and you moved to the States.
Yes. Yeah, the US, yeah.
Yeah, right. And how old were you when you started boxing?
About a year and a half after I got in the country. And,
Yep.
about 11 years old, 11 and a half to 12. Um, my brother did it before I did, because he was getting into fights. He was the guy. See, he was the guy that would punch people in the mouth, and he would get respect. But the problem was they would gang up on him, and he would fight like 3 or 4 guys and all that stuff. So my dad was really upset because he would always get in trouble. He would always get suspended. That he wanted us to get out of the street. So that's how we started
Yep.
boxing.
He was the undisciplined one.
Yeah. Drew Titan, what's up, brother? Hold on. Rach is not here, so I'm gonna have to figure this shit out, man. Oh, there we go. That's the one. I'll make it rain. There we go. It's raining, and I'm out that dance. Hey, 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 hey. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate that love, man. Okay. Hi. There we go. See, remember, she has the mouse, but now she's in a business call. So I have to do all this stuff. I'm not that technical guy. So
You could have even dropped in a little. You could have even just dropped in a little.
Yeah, if she comes in, I'm like, oh. Yeah. So that's pretty much what it was. When you have so much expectation, and sometimes you're put in a box because you are if you're like undefeated and all that stuff, or you coming from the Olympics and you got silver or bronze, there's an expectation that you will become the next Pacquiao. And when that is put upon you, then that's a lot to carry.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah. So
the weight of a nation on your shoulders, mate.
what?
Hey, Nonito, you had a stint. I don't know how long you stayed here for, but I'm about like 20 minutes away from Novato. I'm sure. I think you and your dad were here for a while, weren't you?
Where is that?
Novato,
Novato.
Novato, California,
Where's that nearby?
the Bay Area.
Okay. We were in San Leandro. My dad, we went in San Pablo as well. We stayed in San Pablo,
Mhm.
So I think my dad was working in that area, so yeah. I mean, you see a lot of them. Uh, I don't know really where it is. You gotta show me where you're nearby, Nevada.
Yeah. Oh, but you weren't really here for very long then, right? You weren't in this area very long.
In the Bay Area, not
Yeah.
in that area. I was always in San Leandro, Oakland area. That's where I really, really grew up.
Gotcha.
Wait, hold on. I keep messing this shit up. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found out now. So it's getting easier for me. What happened? My button's not working. Oh, there it is. Hey! 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 There we go. In regards to hate, dislike, what's with the Tagalog versus Ilocano because they don't like each other? I had a Filipino neighbor tell me they hate them. Yes, that's another thing. A lot of Filipinos don't like other Filipinos. That's the crazy thing. Now that you're saying that, what's funny? It's Visayan, Ilocano, and other people, they don't like each other. Like, say, back in the days, I was in LA, the Ilocano and the Visayan, even in Hawaii, actually, the Ilocano and Visayan are always fighting, because they just don't like each other, and the Visayan's going to stick with the Visayan, the Ilocano's going to stick with the Ilocano and all that stuff. So, yes, a lot of that. Thank you for pointing that out because a lot of the time, Filipinos are always competing with other Filipinos from different area or different place. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crazy thing about it too. But yeah, I didn't stay too much in that area, but I was more in the Oakland area, San Leandro area, East Bay. So I'm not really familiar with a lot of that places. Cross the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, okay, so that's that where is that where it is? Then okay.
Yeah. It's a little north. If you were in like San Leandro, Oakland area, it's a little bit north. It's on the other side.
Okay, so I'm on that side. I'm on that Fremont, Union City and all that stuff. So
Yeah, you would have been like in the East Bay.
yeah. New country, thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. And if you guys want to come up here, let's talk about more stuff, just anything really. But yeah, man, that's the crazy thing too, though. In all the places like Asian hate and all that stuff, when it was big, it was always like in big places where they had Chinatown, right? Like New York and the Bay Area. I didn't understand that because y'all grew up with Asian people. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of hate to come out from places like San Francisco and New York, when there's a lot of Chinese people, there's a lot of Asian people, and all of that stuff. It's now that I'm thinking about it, it's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, because in the Bay Area, I mean, I would think like in different places it would come out, but I mean, just think about it too. And there is a lot of people, a lot of Asian. There's a lot of target, but they always, they always confront the elderly and the kids. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But yeah, man, that's the world we live in, man, and we just gotta be sane. We just gotta do our part as human beings, man, and not put an expectation just because of what they look like, what color skin they have, what religion they have. And I think we all can work together, man. I think we all can live in harmony, right, Carl? Even with the spiders.
Even with the spiders, bro.
Right. See that? This guy comes at me and trolls me about spiders all the time, but I still like this guy. See?
Box Talk, you've never seen a human more scared of spiders in your life.
Bro, I am telling you, man. Who here likes spiders? Give me a one if you like spiders.
They're friendly. They're nice. They're lovable little creatures, bro.
Not nice.
No, they're not, bro. No, they're not.
We got spiders over here.
Man.
We got spiders over here as big as dogs. Like
Yeah,
they're
see,
friendly.
no spiders big like as big as a dog, man. That's not you know.
You know
Hey,
why you think they're nice, Carl? Because you guys are used to, like your picture says over there, you guys are used to fighting kangaroos. So for you,
Right.
spiders ain't a big deal. But nah.
I want to say what's up to Kairat Yedilov from Kazakhstan, man. Sometimes there was a guy, I forget his name, but he's from Kazakhstan back in the jails, and he was a tough guy, man. Those guys can fight. So all those guys from Kazakhstan, they're great fighters, man. So big
they're
shout out to you.
wired differently, aren't they, Nonito? They're wired differently.
That they, man, I'm telling you, man, they're born to fight. I think
Yeah.
they're like, you know how you make you mold dogs and you breed dogs to fight and breed dogs for better. I think the Kazakhstans are like breed to like fight, man. Those guys can fight.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
seeing a lot more of it now. I'm seeing a lot. I think with Triple G, he kind of opened the door a little bit and people started paying attention to them. The Kazakhstan and the Uzbekis too.
Yeah. But the stand at the end, the stand at the end, they can fight. The Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. The crazy thing is, I grew up with some of those guys. Well, not grew up with them, but in the nationals, I would see a couple Kazakhstan guys, and they can fight, man. They can fight. I remember
Yep.
one of the guys. I forget his name. His name's Kazakh something. His name is Kazakh, or what was his name? Whatever. But he was a fighter too. So you don't see much of them here, but those guys can fight once you get in there. T word, what's up, bro? Yeah, man.
They live a simple type life,
With the spiders.
with spiders. Yeah, very simple life alongside and coexist with spiders.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm good. I mean, I'm one of those guys that respect life. So if I see a spider in the house, I'm not gonna squash him. Back in the days, I would squash him. I learned that to respect life, so I would just throw them out. I would get a stick and throw them out outside. So but that's just me.
Yeah, when you wake up with one on your face, it's a little bit different.
A size of a dog, yes, that's a different story.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm good with spiders, bro. But back in the days, I would, it's so crazy because I would play with spiders because we didn't have, we didn't have electricity, we didn't have TV, so we would play with either we chop the place. Hey, how you doing?
I had to work.
You work call. You're done with the work call?
Yeah.
No,
I
they
have
were
another
saying
one
they
at
were
11.
speculating you left because you didn't want to talk about the spider.
No, I had a work call.
And we got Boxing 101 over here, so
Oh, sweet. Hey, Boxing 101.
yeah.
What's up, Rachel?
Nothing.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out here, man. Both of you guys, But yeah, I played with spiders growing up, and now
So did my mom.
I cannot. Yeah, we would put a stick like a coconut thing leaf. There's a stick at the end, We put them on the other side. We put the other one on the side, and we put the hole in the middle. And this thing, this two thing, they would come in and they would beat on each other, and one would eat the other after that, and they would wrap them in the.
Were there specific types of spiders, or just anything you found?
No, so after school we would walk out. Yeah, after school we would walk home, and on the way home we would go to the bushes and stuff like that, and we would check the leaves. When we feel a spider web, we would follow the spider web, and there would be a leaf that's like kind of old and like old leaf, right? And that's when they would stay in there. They would hide in there, and we would open that up, and we would take them. But there would be ones like on some certain trees, right? Like the mango trees. If you take a spider from that tree, you don't want to mess with those ones.
Why?
I guess supposedly either they bite a lot or they are a little bit poisonous. I don't know. I don't mess
Did
with
you
those.
tell Carl that you got bitten by a brown recluse?
I did get bitten by a brown recluse, and
I remember that story.
Before the Ubali fight.
yeah, before the Obali fight, and I was swollen up, and
It was in your leg, wasn't it?
on my knee. I got it on my knee.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling me.
And I would feel like every day I would feel this tingle from like a vein going up, and it would go higher and higher every day,
Yeah,
right?
and
And
he's
so
like,
I
"Oh,
went,
it's
it went,
okay."
it went. I was like, oh, it's fine, I'm good, I'm good. And then it started going up to my above my hips, and I'm like, oh, it's going to my heart, man. I gotta get this checked. So I called my doctor, and he gave me like crazy amount of antibiotics. So yeah.
That was in where? Was that in Nevada?
Yeah,
Sure.
that was here. Yeah, that was here. I don't know where. Oh, I think I got it when I was playing with the kids in I was hiding in the bushes, at the at 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 Green Valley Parkway.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I was in the bushes of hiding, and I was trying to scare the kids. And I thought a I just hit a
Branch.
branch on my knee, because like, oh man, that should hurt, right? And I didn't know, and it started swelling up the next day. And I'm like, and I kept working out too. and
Mhm.
and I just after that, man, I was in tremendous. I mean, pain is pain for me. I have a high amount of pain tolerance, but when it started going up to my heart, I'm like, I got to get this shit checked.
Yep.
Rachel, just for the record, too, I didn't bring up the spiders today, okay?
Liar. Oh god. Hey, Matt's
Oh, hey,
around
Matt, what's
here.
up, man? Long time no see, bro. Yeah, thanks for coming out here.
Yeah. So, God, I'm trying to look for that picture because literally I was watching it turn really bad, and I'm like,
Was it in 2018?
no, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was either before the Gabayo or the Ubali fight.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was the Gabayo fight.
Was it
That's
Gabayo?
right,
Because I know
Gabayo.
you lost your
Oh,
tooth during the Gabayo fight.
okay, so it was the first one.
Was it
then.
Ubali?
It was
Ubali
Ubali.
had Ubali. You had COVID.
I had COVID on both of those ones.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah.
You had COVID. Wait, so you should? Does that mean that you're supposed to have COVID before every fight?
No.
You didn't have COVID before the Inoue fight,
No.
so maybe you're supposed to have COVID before
Maybe
your
I
fight.
should. I should get COVID because it just strengthens me.
So what was the recovery process for that? Like, how long did it take for you to feel better? Or I had a friend. The only reason I ask is because I had a friend that got bit.
Remember the boost?
And it was kind of under weird circumstances. Like I never saw him again. So
I don't know about your friend.
no, not like that. Okay, I'll explain to you why I'm curious. So when I was younger, I got in a little bit of trouble, and I was in a boot camp basically, and my roommate, who was also he was there. Obviously, he's my roommate. We were out in the desert up north in Nevada in Urrington, and he got bit by a brown recluse, and technically we're under supervision. After he got bit, the next day they let him go. He got released to his family, and I always wondered, well, what happened to this guy?
Yeah.
It took like
For me, if I had taken care of it right off the bat, it would have been just a week, right? But I let it sit for like 2 weeks.
Oh,
And he
damn.
was like, yeah, and he was
he's
just like
hard-headed.
big. I mean, it looked like I had 2 kneecaps. That's what it looked like. She's trying to find a picture.
Yeah.
And when I, when I started taking the antibiotic, then the next day the pus started coming out. It was like unlimited pus, man. It was just like a squeezing the crap out of it. It was nasty as hell.
Ugh.
It was like water pus, man. It was nasty. But yeah, man, when you do find some spider bites and you don't know what it is, man, or just bug bite and you don't know what it is, get that checked, man, because I thought I was gonna be like,
Especially
it's just
if it
gonna
keeps swelling.
yeah, if it looks like it has an eye in it, then yes, do not. I repeat, do not be brave and go to a doctor.
Don't be not brave. Don't be hard headed. Oh, I know where.
Where's that?
I texted it to the doctor.
Oh, you did.
Yep. Watch me find it now.
But yeah, that it was, again, I had a lot of pain tolerance. So for me,
Is that the reason you're gonna say that you didn't want to see the doctor?
I mean, I thought I could heal myself. I thought I could heal myself. So that's why for me, I was just like, no, I'm gonna heal myself. But it wasn't healing. It was just getting worse every day after 2.5 weeks. So yeah, please when you do get bitten and you think it's a spider bite or a bug
Just go
bite,
see a spider.
just go check it
Go
out,
see a
man.
spider. Go see.
Yeah, go see a spider. Go see Carl.
Carl, will suck it out. Carl, will you suck it
Yeah,
out?
suck it up. Yeah, Carl will suck it all up.
It's not that bad. They're friendly.
Yeah, they're friendly.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
Nope.
that's so crazy, man.
Well,
Can't
do
find it. You cannot
I
find
can't
it.
find it.
You cannot find it.
So
Just go on mine.
why do you have it?
Probably. And
Mm.
anyways, let's go back to the talk. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. You guys go ahead and keep talking.
yeah. Let me just Rachel Nonito, if you need
Pest control.
pest control, hit me up. There
That
you
was
go.
just in a freaking whatchamacallit. It was just in a
So
what?
they go back, put it down.
Mm.
So yeah, it's about usually about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. But if you get it taken care of, you know what? It again, get it taken care of, man. If you don't know what happened, and you don't know what happened, or who, you think it's a bug bite, get it taken care of, man. That's my experience.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man.
That's all it is.
So yeah, that's that's pretty much what happened today, man. That's pretty much what happened today.
Oh, okay. Well, so you guys, what we're gonna end up dropping today is there is a news break on a fight, and that it got signed, etc. I'm not gonna tell you which one because you have to go see it. And also we have the Boots interviews. Bozy interviews. that are
Bozy's
gonna finish
interview,
up,
part 3.
and then we're gonna have the Boots interviews
Yes.
after that. And content. Hey, Mark Nash, what's up? Queen Joseph is here too.
What up? What up?
So, yeah. So with that being said, like you guys go check out that content. And
What's tomorrow?
tomorrow's Thursday.
Are we doing a night show on tomorrow?
We can do a night show tomorrow.
Hey, how about a night show tomorrow? We'll do a night show tomorrow. It's what's Thursday?
Sex and boxing.
Sex and boxing Thursday. Let's do that tomorrow. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Not in the morning. It has to be at night.
Yeah, it's weird to have it in the morning. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do a night show tomorrow. So we're trying to establish the schedule. So I believe right now we're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday during the day.
Yes.
Thursday we'll do a night show. Friday.
Well, we're not doing a night show, but we will have a show at night. How about that? Not a night show.
Night show.
Yeah, no. But
No?
thank you guys again for coming in to stop by, and hope y'all learned something, man. We are all in the same thing. We've all experienced some hate, some discrimination, some racism, and Asian hate, and all of that stuff, and some ignorance of people that don't know anything about other cultures. So it's there's Carl who says punch him in the face and they will come to respect you, and there's also a time where forgiveness for those ignorance, but allow them to know that was ignorant. You know.
I mean, I think the thing is that for us to live in peace and in harmony, it's having the compassion, understanding that people don't grow up the same way that we all do.
Right.
For example, I was in a community that was mostly white. He was in more of a culturally diverse community. But going outside of where we grew up in our own experiences, you will run into people from different areas that don't either know how to act around you, have their preconceived notions around you. And you know what? The best way to teach them about cultural differences is showing them compassion and showing them who you are and not taking it.
And if that doesn't work,
no.
I'm just kidding.
Condoning violence.
I'm just kidding.
Oh
We're
my
not
God.
condoning the violence. And that's why I think for me, it was always like I feel like I was just being bullied because I never looked at it that way, that
As
it was
race.
racism for me. Even though I did have a lot of experiences that I can say was racist. But for me, I always thought that I was just a target because I was small, and I never looked at other people that way, that they were racist against me. It was just that I was the target of ridicule. And so I was always forgiving of others. So if you can find that place in your heart to forgive, please do forgive, but let them know that is a place that they shouldn't have the right to speak on
Well,
about.
teach them about your culture. You know, who's the best person to be a representative of a culture that they are being that they are stereotyping, or that they're being ignorant about. You're the best representative since you're in front of them. So always lead with love, have compassion for other people. And if it doesn't work out, walk away and keep your energy for someone who is more than willing to listen and has an open mind.
And I think in this time, in this world now, we are in need of people who can forgive. We are in need of people who can show love and to teach others that that is not the place to be, but a place of forgiveness, a place of love, and a place of unity. I think that it all comes down to it. We have to unite to create better people, to create better, to better ourselves, really. You know. So again, thank you guys for coming out here. Thank you guys for all the love, and thank you, and may you have a blessing, a wonderful day
And we'll see you for our night show.
tomorrow.
Are you gonna just wear underwear?
I'm just gonna wear underwear tomorrow.
All right. See y'all tomorrow night.
Much love, everybody.
Bye.
I'm Jarrell. And I am Logan. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video. And hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. KO! Jinx, got ya.
Nonito the Filipino.